Okay, before I get started with the Q&A, I'm going to say a massive thank you to Spinnernet, who mentioned me in a video in the last week, and because of that I got about an extra 50 subscribers, so thank you for recommending me to all your viewers, your subscribers. And yeah, if anyone out there hasn't seen his videos, I'll put a link to his channel in my description box down there, and yeah, go check his videos out. I'm pretty sure everyone has seen his videos. He's one of the better known guys here on YouTube, he does really good videos, so yeah, if you haven't seen him, check him out. The link will be down there. Usually I forget to do it, but I'll try and remember this time to put the link down there. Right then, this is my Q&A video where you send in the questions and I give you my answers. I'm going to start off with a question from Yan5Mam5, which is, what is the greatest angle / feud of all time in pro wrestling? Now, personally, I'd have to say it's the Bret Hart versus Owen Hart feud, which started late 1993 at the Survivor Series, where they went in as a tag team, you know, really close brothers, and then in the match Owen Hart was the only one to be eliminated. Afterwards he came down and he blamed Bret for being eliminated. Then they patched things up over Christmas, kayfabe wise. Then they came back at the Royal Rumble, went for the tag team titles. Bret Hart was hogging the limelight. Owen Hart turned on him, kicked his leg out, and then after the match, gave him a little bit of a, well, just kicked him basically, but hurt his damaged leg just before the Royal Rumble. Bret Hart's big chance, which he went on to win. But yeah, Owen Hart did the infamous promo where he's got snot hanging up from his nose here, and he goes, "You were selfish, so I kicked your leg out of your leg." And you know, it was a great little moment from Owen Hart. And yeah, they had an awesome feud. The match at the WrestleMania 10 was great. They had a TV match, I think it was like late night or middle night 94 sometime, which was a fantastic. And they also had the match at the SummerSlam 1994, which was really raved about. I personally didn't enjoy that as much as the WrestleMania or the television match that they had, but yeah, a great feud. But you're asking for that's just my opinion, but what I'd have to say, from a neutral standpoint, I'd have to say WCW versus WWF. I would say that is the best feud of all time. The Monday Night Wars, when Nitro went up against Raw on a Monday night, it sparked creativity, which ignited the wrestling industry and revolutionised the sport that a lot of us know and love. Guys like Lex Luger going over to Nitro on the very first night, and then guys crossing over to each show, and then both companies wanting to up the competition and beat the other team. It was a fantastic era of professional wrestling, and that's why a lot of people hark back to the Attitude Era, saying, "Oh, the Attitude Era was the best." I just think it was the Monday Night Wars era that was the best, because WCW was doing great stuff all the way through, well, the beginning of the Monday Night Wars, and then WWF was doing it to the end of it. So yeah, it really revolutionised the sport, and I've got to say that is the best feud of all time, WCW versus WWF. Next up, two questions from JWW112093. First off, we have, what's your favourite pay-per-view in wrestling history? And I think I got asked that question last time, and I went with SummerSlam 2000. You know, for me it's the best. You're never going to beat that. It had Kurt Angle versus Triple H versus The Rock for the title in the main event. You had the Stephanie love triangle with Kurt Angle and Triple H going on at the time. You had a TLC match between Dudley's Hardys and Edge and Christian. You had a 2 out of 3 falls match, Jericho and Benoit. A fantastic show. What was the other match that they had? Blackman versus McMahon, I think, was on there, where McMahon fell from apparently 60 feet. It was more like 30, but still a massive bump to take for the guy who at the time was the heir to the company, wasn't he? The heir to the throne, basically, of pro wrestling. So yeah, that's my favourite pay-per-view of all time. Which wrestler do you think is the most underrated of all time? Again, from JWW112093. Most underrated of all time, I'd have to say Scott Hall. The guy was fantastic between 1993 and 1997. In later years, nowadays, he's really tarnished his legacy with the massive drug problems and alcohol problems that he's got at the moment, and he's a shadow of his former self. People like to say that Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan are really tarnishing their legacy by carrying on in TNA the way they are. Their legacy is cemented. They are awesome. No matter what they do, well, within reason, nothing's going to change that. But from Scott Hall, he didn't have that as legacy as good as them to begin with. And the fact that he's gone so far down now, a lot of people do not give him the credit that he deserves, in my opinion. So yeah, he would have to be the guy I'd say is the most underrated of all time. And he was my favourite wrestler as a child when I first became a fan, so I'm probably biased, but I'd have to give it to Scott Hall. At the moment, it's got to be, I don't know who's underrated nowadays, but yeah, I'd say Cena's underrated now, but of all time, I've got to give it to Razor Ramon, Scott Hall. Right, next up, Total Non-Stop Attitude. Now this guy, I've got first of all, I've got to recommend his channel. He does alright videos. It's mostly unbagging videos where he's gone and got a new DVD. He's got more charisma than most of the guys who usually do it. I usually don't really watch those kind of videos that much, but yeah, his videos are quite good. So if you like that kind of video where people show their new purchases and stuff like that, I'd recommend his channel. The guy's got charisma. He does video pretty much every single day as well. So yeah, check out his channel. That is Total Non-Stop Attitude, all one word. Right. His question is, now that Tough Enough is over and we have our winner, Andy, what do you see WWE doing with him? Right, personally, what I want the WWE to do is oh, just dropped something on the floor. Yeah, what I want the WWE to do is give him a monster push, a monster heel. He's got to come in like Kane did when it came first started and really squash smaller guys. Guys like Evan Bourne, Rey Mysterio, Trent Beretta, Zack Ryder. Squash these guys, Primo Cologne, just squash them. Doesn't matter if they heel, doesn't matter if they face. He's a massive heel and he hates everyone. He needs to come in and squash them all. The Silent Rage character, I really like it. It reminds me of Chris Benoit. I was a massive fan of, but that's a different story altogether. Yeah, they need to bring him in like that. That's what I want them to do. What I think they'll do is they'll bring him in, they'll have him face a guy or two, it won't work, they won't give it enough time to succeed, and then they'll just squash it. They'll have someone like John Morrison go over him at a pay-per-view, maybe not even a pay-per-view, maybe just a Raw, have him go over him, and we won't even hear about it for months, and then it'll just get released. I think that's what will end up happening, to be honest. Next, Lil Nick Thug Life from Yorkshire says, do you think the internet has gone a long way to spoiling the predictability of wrestling with all the spoilers floating around? Or do you think the internet has helped the business? Or both? Great vids, mate. Thanks for the compliment. First of all, right, has the internet spoiled the business as far as spoilers are concerned? I have got to say yes. It has hurt the business because if something big is going to happen, we generally know about it before time, because something will leak onto the internet and then everyone will start telling each other word of mouth as the internet is, and then because I've got this YouTube channel and people will just write stuff on my wall and say, oh, have you seen this is going to happen, or what do you think of this might maybe happening, and even though they're just speculating, people will basically let you know what's going to happen. I don't really mind it, you know, it's all conversation at the end of the day, but there's good discussion within wrestling, so I don't really mind it, but it does take away from wrestling at the end of the day, because, for example, say Goldberg was going to debut or come back on Raw on Monday night, we'd know about it. We'd know about it by now. We would have heard someone saying, oh, apparently Goldberg's in discussions, or Goldberg may be here. So when he does come, it's just like, oh, we knew he was going to come, we just didn't know it was just yet. So it does take away from it. It massively takes away from it, in my opinion. And I've got to say, I don't read, even though I don't read spoilers like that, might sound a bit hypocritical, seeing as one of my last videos was a spoiler video. That was only because Raw was pre-taped, and Raw's never pre-taped nowadays, so I thought, because it is, I'll read the spoilers and I'll make a video about it for people who want to watch spoiler videos. So I'm mumbling my words here. I read the SmackDown spoilers as well, so I did a video on the Raw and the SmackDown spoilers for the upcoming week. And yeah, personally I don't read spoilers. Apart from that, it's very rare that I do. And it's got me to the point where, even though I don't read spoilers, I won't watch TNA, just because I know that if something good's going to happen, I would have heard about it already. If something good's going to happen, like when China returned, I watched it because I wanted to see China, because that's, you know, awesome news. But you know, they call it spoilers for a reason, because it does spoil what's going to happen for you, and it takes away all the surprise. And the surprise is half the battle at the end of the day. I personally, a good surprise can make a show from good to bad, from bad to good even. It could take a crappy show and make it excellent. It's also ruined it from a financial standpoint, like as the music industry and the film industry and other industries, like more media industries, that people will just download the products or they'll stream it online. I've been guilty of those things in the past as well, but personally I don't enjoy like a pay-per-view or a DVD if I'm streaming it on the internet or downloading it, for example, as much as I do when I buy the actual DVD or I buy the pay-per-view. When I buy the DVD, I really enjoy it a lot more than if I watch it online. So it takes away my enjoyment, because I'm not paid for it, and I just it doesn't feel as good watching something that you've not paid for. When you've paid for it, or even when someone buys it for you, you've got the actual thing in your hands and you put it in the DVD player and you watch it. It feels better than just downloading something. I'm very old-fashioned when it comes to, well, old-fashioned. It's a new product, it's only 10 years, but I'm more old-fashioned when it comes to technology. I prefer having the actual thing, the hard copy, rather than just something online. So yeah, I think it has ruined the business. Although one thing it has done for the business is that it's made internet wrestling websites a lot. Obviously, anyone can just go onto a wrestling website any day of the week, and then just really live out their fandom online and really like talk to other people about wrestling and look up the latest news and what's going on and really, you know, become a fan, keep up with wrestling. It's a really easy way to keep up with it and helps people become better fans at the end of the day, and more bigger fans, should I say. Right, Mr. Wrestling Era says, if you were to go back in time and go to one show, what would it be? Now this may be a controversial answer, but I would have to say Viewer's Choice Raw 2010, when I think it was that Raw, when Nexus debuted and they attacked John Cena. That was jaw-dropping, that was amazing. If I was there live, I would have marked out like a motherfucker. That, sorry for swearing, I don't like to swear in my videos, it's not big and it's not clever. Yeah, that would have been an amazing show like, the show wasn't that great, but then the ending, you would have gone home happy after that show. Also, a similar one to that is the when the Invasion angle just kicked off and it was a 10-man match, something like WWF and WCW versus ECW guys, and then they all turned on WWF guys to kick off the Invasion. That would have been an awesome show to be at, because that would have just been, wow, what's going on here, that was amazing. But yeah, that Nexus thing would have been great to be at, so I've got to say that show. I could go with a few pay-per-views like SummerSlam 2000, which is my favourite show, and WrestleMania 17. But yeah, I'll just go with that Raw, because that's the first thing that came to my mind, and that would have really sent you home happy, that one Nexus angle. Right, the Crazy Show asks, what do you think about the upcoming Destination X pay-per-view? Now, like I said, I don't watch TNA Impact, but I was going to do a preview video for Destination X, but I realised because I don't watch it anymore, I can't really make a good video, and I'll just be making a video just for the sake of it, and it won't be that entertaining, because I'll just be like, I don't know what's going on, so I thought, rather than do that, I won't make one. But what do I think of it? I think it would be actually a good show, to be honest. I will watch the pay-per-view, I will watch it. We've got Kid Cash coming back in, which is going to be great. It's going to be great from a wrestling fan perspective. From a financial standpoint, I don't know how good it will do. I don't think it will do very well at all. But I'm a wrestling fan, I don't need to worry about that, and I will personally enjoy it for what it is. Kid Cash will come back, we've got Jerry Lynn RVD, it'll all be good stuff. Next up, Pelling25. Who is the worst diva in the WWE? Now I've got to say, as good looking as she is, Kelly. She's awful in the ring, she's got no charisma, she's got no character. She's just something nice to look at, that's all she is at the end of the day. She needs to be fired. She's like Sunny. Sunny was not a wrestler, so Sunny didn't wrestle for WWF. Sunny was a valet. She used to wear the merchandise, so it sold better, because you see this hot woman in the merchandise, go, wow, I want that shirt. It works. It's a good marketing campaign. Kelly doesn't do anything. Like, she gets a few cheers from the fans, but she's not over. She's not over with the internet crowd either. So she's just a pretty face, and they're trying to make something of her that she's not, and it's not going to work. I'm thinking when Karma comes back, Karma's going to squash Kelly in the end, win the title, so that will go there. Next up, who deserves a push most and who deserves a D-push in the WWE? That's from Mr. Awesome 16 from Orland Park, Illinois. A D-push, I'd give that to John Morrison. I personally don't like his style. He's a gymnast, he's not a wrestler. Watching it makes wrestling look fake, and I just can't suspend my disbelief while watching him. I'd give a push to someone like Daniel Bryan, but not yet. I wouldn't pull the trigger on it just yet, because he's not that over with the fans, so I have to build it up over a few years like they did with Guerrero and Benoit, and after a few years they'd earned it, they were over with the fans, and then when they won the title, they were seen as legit superstars. Next we've got, if you were a wrestler, what would your gimmick be? From ICTOA1. What would my gimmick be? No idea. I'd sort of do something like a Chris Benoit, where it's just like stony face, nothing gets through you sort of thing. And last but not least, from iBobI1, when Sting stops wrestling, will he be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame? I personally believe he will be. WWE have inducted guys in before who haven't wrestled for them, so yeah, I do think they will induct Sting when the time comes. And yeah, that's it for my video. My battery is running out. Quickly, I'll just run down what I've got coming up. There's going to be a WCW Road Wild or Hog Wild, can't remember what it was called then, 1996 review. There'll also be a WWF Canadian Stampede review coming pretty soon, so yeah, look out for them. Check out Spinnernet, check out Total Non-Stop Attitude. I'll put both theirs links down there in the description box. And yeah, if you're not already, so please subscribe. If you're like my videos, that is. Give me a thumbs up or thumbs down, and give me a few comments. And also, if you've got any more questions for my next edition of this, just pop them on the moderator on my channel, then I'll answer them next time around. And yet with that, I'm out. Thanks for watching.